proceeding, may I request our worthy guests to please come on the stage. First of all, I will request our Honorable Chief Guest of the event, Professor Zafrullah Chaudhary, to please come on the stage. Please welcome Professor Zafrullah Chaudhary. Our next guest, Professor Nazir Ahmed Chaudhary, please come on the stage and take the seat. Our highly senior living legend, Professor Rashid Latif Khan, please come on the stage and take the seat. One and only, very dynamic, very vibrant personality, Professor Khalid Masood Gondal, please come on. May I request the very active personality, always there to manage, Dr. Mahmood Salahuddin, Medical Superintendent, Lahore General Hospital. And then none other to make the whole family beautiful and colorful. Mrs. Razia Baba, please come on the stage. Hospital. And I, on behalf of organizing committee 60 years Lahore General Hospital celebrations, would like to welcome all our distinguished guests, worthy professors, faculty members, dedicated staff, and dear students. LGH is an institution that has been built on the solid foundation of the service to the humanity, welfare, and utmost commitment to professional excellence. This event is a celebration of those very foundations and the amazing people who have been the torch bearers and curators of this institution. Their services transformed LGH from an abstract thought to a tangible reality of excellent tertiary care health services in Pakistan. For formal beginning of the event, I would like to call upon Dr. Hafiz Shahzaid, who will recite verses from the Holy Quran. Dr. Hafiz Shahzaid.
ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم صدق الله العظيم. Translation. قل بفضل الله وبرحمته, اے نبی کہہ دیجئے اللہ کے فضل اور اس کی رحمت کے ساتھ فبذالک فلیفرحوا, تو جو بھی اللہ کا فضل اور اس کی رحمت ہو اس کے ساتھ بس چاہیے کہ لوگ خوشی منائیں. ہوا خیر مما یجمعون, اور یہ اس ہر چیز سے بہتر ہے جو وہ دنیا میں جمع کرتے ہیں. قال اللہ تبارک و تعالی فی مقام آخر ذالک فضل اللہ یؤتیہ من یشاء واللہ ذو الفضل العظیم. یہ اللہ کا فضل ہے, جسے چاہتا ہے عطا کرتا ہے, اور اللہ بہترین فضل والا ہے. یہ سعادت بزور بازو نیست تا نہ بخشت خدائے بخشندہ. صدق اللہ مولانا العظیم.
The event of 60 years celebrations, since it is celebrations, بہت کچھ میں نے لکھا ہوا ہے, لیکن کچھ میری دل کی آواز ہے وہ میں ضرور آپ کے ساتھ شیئر کروں گا. اور وہ یہ ہے کہ یہ جو ہاسپٹل ہے لاہور جنرل ہاسپٹل, یہ بالکل ایسی ہے جیسے یہ ہمارا دیس ہے. جیسے پاکستان ہمارا دیس ہے, یہ اسی طرح کا ایک دیس ہے. میں آپ سب سے گزارش کروں گا کہ ایک دفعہ ضرور اس بات کو فیل کریں کہ یہ دیس ہمارا ہے, اسے ہم نے سنوارا ہے, اس کا ہر ایک ذرہ ہمیں اپنی جان سے پیارا ہے. اس پورے ایونٹ کو آرگنائز کرنے میں جتنا اہم رول ہر ایک کا ہے, سب سے اہم رول جو اس پورے ایونٹ کے روئے رواں ہے, میں دعوت دوں گا آپ کی بھرپور تعلیموں میں پروفیسر معین صاحب کو, آرگنائزنگ سیکرٹری ہے, اور welcome address. Thank you, sir.
The Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Zafrullah Chaudhary, Senior Professors, Professor Khaja Sadiq Hussain, Professor Rashid Latif, Professor Professor Gondal, Professor Nazir, and Professor Muhammad Tayyib, Professor Mahmood Salahuddin, Razia Banu, all the past principals, deans, medical superintendents, faculty members, students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's indeed a matter of great honor for LGH to be hosting 60-year celebrations. This institution started from a very humble start in 1959, and Alhamdulillah, it has grown to be one of the leading hospitals in Pakistan. I think it was built on the shoulders of all these giants who are sitting in front of us. Please give a big hand of applause to them. And to start this event, we have made a video in association with the Amiruddin Photography Society, and that will give you a glimpse of what we are today. 60 years celebration of Lahore General Hospital. And I welcome you to this event.
Lahore General Hospital, affiliated with Amiruddin Medical College, is now considered as one of the best hospitals in Pakistan. It indeed was no one individual or any individual department that made it what it is today. Rather, it was the toil of so many intellectual minds and the hard work of a massive force.
This hospital began as very humble beginnings 60 years ago on the 29th of January 1959, and today it concludes its 60th year of service. This hospital began with very few departments, primarily related to neurosurgery, and it was a huge big setup of neurosurgery, and over the years
Day and night to make this event successful, which include Professor Awa Shabir, Professor Riyasun Nabi Tayyib, Professor Alia Bashir and her team, and Dr. Mahmood Salahuddin, Dr. Rana Basharat, and Ms. Razia Banu. Thank you very much for coming, and let's make it a great success.
Thank you very much, Professor Moeen. جب ہم یہ کہتے ہیں کہ درد دل کے واسطے پیدا کیا انسان کو، ورنہ اطاعت کے لیے کم نہ تھے کروڑ. So what comes to our mind is that paramedical and nursing staff have a very key role in the smooth running of the hospital and the patient care. Nursing staff of Lahore General Hospital is second to none. So now I would like to call our very loving, caring and Hardi Aziz nursing superintendent, Madam Razia Banu, to share her experience and views about LGH. Madam Razia Banu.
محترم جناب صدر، معزز مہمانان گرامی، خواتین و حضرات، السلام علیکم. آج لاہور جنرل ہاسپٹل کا 60واں یوم تاسیس منایا جا رہا ہے. اس ہسپتال کی تاریخ کا مطالعہ کریں تو کتاب تاریخ کے ابتدائی صفحات میں بیگم ناہید سکندر مرزا کا تذکرہ ملتا ہے. 5 روز قبل 24 جنوری 2019 کو انتقال کرنے والی بیگم ناہید سکندر مرزا سابق گورنر جنرل پاکستان سکندر مرزا کی خاتون اول تھیں، جنہوں نے 61 برس قبل اخلاقی جذبے کے تحت فیروزپور روڈ پر 256 کینال اراضی پر ایک سرکاری ہوم قائم کیا، جو اگرچہ کامیابی سے ہمکنار نہ ہوا، تاہم اس کی قیادت ہاؤس میں 1959 سے قائم لاہور جنرل ہاسپٹل لاہور نوجوان ڈاکٹرز، نرسز، پیرامیڈکس اور دیگر سٹاف کے لیے ایک اثاثہ ہے اور انہیں صحت و طب کی ارتقائی منازل پر لے جانے میں میز ثابت ہوگا. یاد رہے، بیگم ناہید سکندر مرزا ایرانی نسل پاکستانی تھیں اور بیگم نصرت بھٹو کی بڑی قریبی دوست تھیں. صاحب صدر، میں نے یادوں کی کتاب کی کچھ اور صفحات پڑھے تو وہاں لاہور جنرل ہسپتال کی نئی ایمرجنسی کا ذکر موجود ہے. یہ ایمرجنسی 2005 میں پنجاب کے وزیر اعلیٰ چودھری پرویز الہی نے اس جگہ تعمیر کروائی جہاں کبھی MS کی رہائش گاہ ہوا کرتی تھی. جہاں ایک شخص رہتا تھا وہاں اب 3000 کے قریب مریض روزانہ کے طور پر علاج کے لیے لائے جاتے ہیں. 2018 کے اعداد و شمار کے مطابق سابق سال بھر میں 8 لاکھ سے زائد مریضوں نے اس ایمرجنسی وارڈ سے استفادہ حاصل کیا. ان مریضوں کا تعلق صرف لاہور سے نہیں بلکہ پورے ملک سے تھا. خواتین
پروفیسر راشد لطیف خان، پروفیسر گوندل صاحب، پروفیسر نذیر صاحب، پروفیسر خواجہ صاحب اینڈ ایکس MS حضرات اینڈ ایکس پرنسپلز اینڈ مائی ڈیئر کولیگز، السلام علیکم. It gives me immense pleasure to speak few words on achieving this very important milestone. I congratulate the efforts of those people who distinguished themselves in making different stages of success for this hospital. Service to humanity is not less than worship. I feel proud of being the part of 60th celebration of this prestigious institution as medical superintendent. With the blessing of God, we are fortunate to be able to accomplish 60 years with a new shape of services to common masses and other social sectors. Efforts of renowned principals, administrators, HODs, young doctors, nursing staff, and all other auxiliary staff are really commendable. Moreover, I also adore the invaluable services of benign souls who left this world during these 60 years. Lahore General Hospital has over an area of 256 canals. It was initially proposed for a Darul Falah or a beggar house, and its foundation stone was laid down by Begum Nahid Sikandar Mirza, wife of Governor General of Pakistan, on 27 February 1958, and inaugurated by Mr. Akhtar Hussain, the Governor of West Pakistan, on 29 January 1959. The Department of Neurosurgery of King Edward Medical College was established at Lahore General Hospital in 1966. Lahore General Hospital started functioning in old blocks. At that time, hospital was used as convalescent home for the superflex patients of new hospital, and there were no proper treatment or diagnosis facilities available at that time. The Department of Neurosurgery of King Edward Medical College, Lahore, was established at Lahore General Hospital in 1966. This department remained housed in old building till 1981. Then gradually surgery, gynae, medicine, urology units were started. Then after the birth of Postgraduate Medical Institute Lahore in 1974, hospital was affiliated with PGMI in July 1975. The government approved Amiruddin Medical College Lahore and attached to Lahore General Hospital to impart training for MBBS degree awarded by UHS Lahore in December 2011. 100 MBBS admissions per year were awarded. First batch of MBBS class was enrolled in 2012 by University of Health Sciences. At this time, against 1,000 sanctioned beds, we are working with 1,700 beds at its full strength. 32 multiple disciplines are functioning. Our faculty is giving specialized secondary and tertiary health care and diagnostic services, attracting high volume of patients all over the country. A spirit of selfless devotion to the fellow human beings and communities by proper administration, faculty, PGRs and students is really laudable, and I salute them. Under constraints of human and financial resources, new units are established and some are in process. This is due to diligent, pragmatic and honest leadership Dr. Muhammad Tayyib. Let us celebrate the prolonged and protracted struggle of our seniors and junior colleagues to make this LGH a prestigious institution which is a beacon light for coming generations. I pray to Almighty Allah to give courage and we are course of struggle. सर इस एंड में खड़े होकर ये कह देना बड़ा आसान होता है कि हमने 1700 बेड ऐड कर दिए हैं, 3000 इमरजेंसी में पेशेंट देखे जा रहे हैं, 5000 आउटडोर में पेशेंट देखे जा रहे हैं। ये सब पौधे आपके लगाए हुए हैं और आपने अपना खूने जिगर और खूने दिल देकर इनको सिंचा है और इनकी आबियारी की है। और मैं दुआ करता हूँ कि जो नक्शे कदम हमें अल्लाह ताला आपके नक्शे कदम पर चलने की तौफीक अता फरमाए और इस गुलशन को हम इसी तरह आबियारी करते रहें और बनी नौ इंसान की खिदमत करते रहें। आपकी दुआएं हमें चाहिए और हम इंशाल्लाह एफर्ट करते रहेंगे। अल्लाह ताला आपका और हमारा हामी नासिर।
डॉक्टर महमूद सलाहुद्दीन, जिनके दिल की आवाज़ कुछ यूँ है कि खूने दिल दे के निखारेंगे रुखे बरगे गुलाब, खूने दिल दे के निखारेंगे रुखे बरगे गुलाब, हमने गुलशन के तहफ़्फ़ुज़ की कसम खाई। Now, I feel privileged to invite a very dynamic leader, vibrant, excellent teacher, devoted, dedicated, कि जिनके लिए मैं ये कहूँ कि निगह बुलंद सुख्न दिल नवाज जहाँ पुरसोस यही है रख्ते सफ़र मीरे कारवां के लिए. Please welcome one and only our Hardil Aziz Fardi Principal Professor Muhammad Tayyib. Please come on this.
Professor Zafarullah Chaudhry, President, College of Physicians and Surgeons of Pakistan, my very senior teachers, past principals and past deans, as Moin said, the giants on whose shoulders we ride today. I've spoken on many forums in my life, but I've never been so nervous before when I'm in the presence of all of my teachers, especially my mentors in obstetrics and gynecology, who made me what I am, Professor Rashid Latif Khan and Professor Farooq Saman. They're sitting here. Sir, I'm standing here because of you. Professor Nazir Ahmed, Professor Khalid Masood Gondal, Professor Khaja Sadiq, Professor Anjum Habib Vora, my very honorable, loving friends in the faculty, all my dear colleagues and professors. Our academic council is very heavy-footed. We have already 4 principals in the academic council, and if something would go wrong soon, there will soon be 5. Brigadier Muwaddat Hussain Rana, my childhood friend, he's here to teach in our Obs and Gynae course, which is going on. I'm very grateful for your presence, Muwaddat. Ladies and gentlemen, my main right and left arms, the nursing superintendent and the entire team from the nursing department, Professor Dr. Mahmood Salahuddin, and the entire administration. I welcome you all. And I feel it was just my destiny that the 60th birthday should fall within my tenure of serving here. And we thought it would be befitting to celebrate our successes as well. As I always maintain that 1,700 aeroplanes land at Heathrow Airport every day, and that is not a news. But if something would go wrong once in 20 years, that would be news. There would be times when you should all get together for a few moments and celebrate your hard work, your devotion, your dedication. And I was told that 20 years ago, in the 40th year, Dr. Sabiha Khurshid is sitting here. She celebrated this event at the 40th year. I'm thankful to you. We got this idea from you, that we should celebrate it. And 60th year as well. I had the privilege and honor of serving here in 2008 and 9 as a professor of Obs and Gynae. And at that time, I served here for 1.5 years before I moved to Lahore, to Allama Iqbal Medical College, Jinnah Hospital. And at that time, I know that this building where we are standing now was a very deep pit. It was being excavated. And we used to exit Lahore General Hospital meandering through these big heaps of mud and stuff, like building stuff. And look what it is now. And I'm sure that people who will share with us their views, I'm sure, like I said, the giants on whose shoulders we stand today, they have witnessed from early beginnings 100 to 150 bedded place, from where it has progressed to 1,750 beds now. And if you've got 40 operating tables running round the clock in this hospital, and you've got 45 dialysis machines running, and you've got 6,000 people coming to the OPD every day, and 3,000 patients entering the emergency every day with a similar number of attendants. This is the only hospital in Punjab, I believe, which is doing a morning as well as an evening OPD till 8 o'clock in the evening. So people have contributed towards the progress of this hospital over time. We have at the moment more than 1,500, anyway I think about 1,700 nurses who work here, more than 1,500 doctors who work here, and also I would like to pay tribute to the paramedics and the support staff of this hospital, without which the hospital will not function. So I'm thankful to each one of you, and I feel that right down from the principal as well as the medical superintendent to the workers in the lowest tier in the cadre, each one is an equal contributor to the prosperity of the hospital. In this hospital, we keep striving we keep this endeavor going. I will not touch on the academics because this is related to Lahore General Hospital, but I just mentioned that because of the effort of a few people, beginning from Professor Tariq Salahuddin, a medical college was established in this hospital in 2012, and the team at that time brought in 100 students every year, and the first indigenous batch of this institution is now doing or almost completing the house job in Lahore General Hospital, and the second batch has just completed the final professional, and they will be available for house job in the next couple of months. So we have now our own well-trained medical students, and the faculty that I have the honor of sharing this teaching and learning experience with is probably one of the best in the country. Having said that, my colleagues and my very close friends at the moment are leading other hospitals. Professor Khalid Gondal is a very capable Vice Chancellor of King Edward Medical University. Professor Amar Zaman is sitting here as well, is a very capable, illustrious Vice Chancellor of Fatma Jinnah Medical University. Professor Mahmood Ayaz is leading Services Institute of Medical Sciences. And Professor Arif Tajammul, my colleague in Gynae, he is heading Allama Iqbal Medical College. I know them all personally for the last 2 or 3 decades, and I feel that we all are trying our very best to build upon what you laid down for us. And what you laid down for us was absolutely a beacon for us to follow and build on. And inshallah, that is what we're going to do. Finally, I sincerely hope, I don't know whether I'll be there in the next 10 years to come and be part of the 70th year celebration. But hopefully by then, we will have another building, which is a phase 4 building. We will have cardiology fully established and cardiac surgery fully established. We will have an individual separate, very big, inshallah, campus which is working for Amiruddin Medical College. We will have an expansion of emergency services and emergency building. And I've already spoken to the Secretary Health, but inshallah try to increase the beds from 1,750 to touch 2,000. And if we touch 2,000, that will be one of the biggest hospitals in the country. And this is the hospital where we started to do free diagnostic facility services to senior citizens, and we would regularize that for senior citizens. Everybody above 60 will have free diagnostic access and services, and we try and strive, depending upon how the funds are being released, to expand on these facilities. And inshallah, in my tenure and remaining time, I'll try my very best to complete the excellent projects that were begun by Professor Khalid and Professor Ghassan Nabi Tayyib, and hopefully try to initiate and put in pipeline projects which will be completed by ladies and gentlemen who are going to come after me. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Professor Principal Mohammed Tayyib. कहते हैं अगर रास्ता खूबसूरत है तो मालूम करो किस मंजिल की तरफ जाते हैं, लेकिन अगर मंजिल खूबसूरत है तो रास्ते की परवाह न करो। तो जनरल हॉस्पिटल का ये जो सफ़र था उस पर बड़ा ये फिट आता है कि इन्हीं पत्थरों पे चल के अगर आ सको तो आओ। इस घर के रास्ते में कोई कहकशा नहीं थी, मगर हम सब ने मिल के जिस तरह से इसकी आबियारी की है उसकी मिसाल नहीं मिलती। और वो कहते हैं ना, इफ़ यू बिलीव इट विल वर्क आउट, यू विल सी अपॉर्चुनिटीज, एंड इफ यू बिलीव it won't, you will see obstacles. So whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Now I would be inviting the personalities, the legends, the devotees, the dedicators who helped these institutions from scratch. They were founders and curators of Lahore General Hospital and are still supporting the institution in every way they can. Their services are a beacon of excellence and a role model for everyone to follow. वो अकेले चले, लेकिन कहते हैं मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल, मगर लोग साथ मिलते गए और कारवां बनता चला गया. The first personality I would like to invite to stage today is an embodiment of these verses. You are one of the pioneers of the field of neurosurgery in Pakistan and also the curator of this institution of neurosciences legacy. It's none other Professor Nazir Ahmed. Please welcome Professor Nazir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you for the kind word, Professor. Professor Zafrullah Chaudhry, President CPSP. I have long association with them. I started my career as house surgeon in general surgery with them in 1976 in Lahore. Mayo Hospital, King Edward Medical College, North Surgical Unit. I still remember the way he teaches, the way he groomed his surgical skills inculcated into his students. Thank you very much, sir. Professor Tayyab, Principal, PGMI and Amiruddin Medical College, Professor Khaja Sadiq Hassan, the teacher of teachers. When I was a student in King Edward Medical College, he was the principal of the K Medical College at that time. Dr. Rashid Lateef Saab, he has served this institution as well as Professor of Gynae and as well as Dean of the PGMI. Dr. Khalid Gondal Saab, Professor Salahuddin Mahmood, MS, Lahore General Hospital, Madam Razia. I still remember she was a student when I was a registrar in the neurosurgery department in this hospital. I will briefly, because I have served almost in every capacity in this institute right from the beginning, starting my career as house surgeon in neurosurgery, then passing through the various stages leading to the head of department of neurosurgery, and ultimately I retired as principal of PGMI. And almost half of my life I spent here. Just briefly, I will go through the history of the neurosurgery development in Lahore General Hospital and the PGMI, and development of the PGMI. And I will start as already mentioned. The Lahore General Hospital Lahore had its beginning in 1958. About 256 canals of land was provided by the then government of the West Pakistan. This place was far away from the main city of the Lahore, about 17 kilometers from the district court, supposed to be the 0 point of the Lahore at that time. In 1958, Begum Naheed Mirza, the wife of Sikandar Mirza, the then Governor General of Pakistan, laid down the foundation stone of the building meant to bring the beggars from the city and to teach them the professional skills so they can be useful member of the society. Lady Naheed Mirza died few days ago, probably waiting for the 60th celebration of this institute. This was a great idea. Place was named as Darul Falah. As the place was far away from the main city, even the beggars refused to stay here. Soon after that, plan for the beggar house was dropped and the facility was converted into a general hospital in 1959. Old Nehru Operation Theatre building was constructed in 1962. Then the routine surgery started in Lahore General Hospital. Initially, this hospital was run by staff of members of the King Edward Medical College and Mayo Hospital, Lahore, and facility was used mainly as convalescent home for patients from Mayo Hospital. But in mid-60s, many of the medical and surgical specialties from the Mayo Hospital were shifted to this place to develop it as the center of medical excellence. As it was difficult to commute to this place on daily basis, most of the professors managed to move their units back to the Mayo Hospital. Professor Bashir Ahmed came to Pakistan in late 1964 and was appointed as assistant professor of neurosurgery at Nishtar Medical College, Multan. In 1966, within 2 years, he managed to move his department to King Edward Medical College, Mayo Hospital, Lahore. He was given few beds scattered in various surgical units of Mayo Hospital and very little operating time in the existing surgical operation theatres of Mayo Hospital. Professor Bashir Ahmed, a man of wisdom, had to come to Pakistan with the mission to set up a neurosurgical facility at par with the developed world. He felt very early that neurosurgery expansion, as he has visioned, cannot be possible in already overcrowded Mayo Hospital. And then he opted to start neurosurgery at Lahore General Hospital way back in 1966. It was not an easy job to come to LGH on daily basis for patients, their relatives and medical staff, as road network at that time was not as good as today. In spite of hardships, with his day and night hard work, he was able to establish most modern neurosciences setup at LGH. I joined this department of neurosurgery in 1976 as house surgeon. By that time, LGH was affiliated with the newly established Postgraduate Medical Institute, Lahore. But only Department of Neurosurgery, LGH, remained affiliated with King Edward Medical College till the time in 1999 when the medical teaching institutions were granted autonomous institutions. At that time, Department of Neurosurgery, LGH, has two professorial units. One of the units, headed by Professor Iftikhar Ali Raja, was shifted to the K Medical College and Mayo Hospital, as Professor Raja was also made Chief Executive CEO of the King Edward Medical College. Another unit headed by Professor Javed Majid Mian remained affiliated with PGMI. Within a very short time, second post of professorial unit was created at PGMI by the efforts of the Professor Javed Majid Mian and the CEO, Dr. Sabiya Khurshid. She is sitting here. And I was promoted and appointed as in charge of the second unit. In 1976, when I joined the Department of Neurosurgery, Professor Bashir Ahmed already established full-fledged neurosurgery department consisting of neuroradiology, neurophysiology, neuropsychology, neuropsychiatry, neuroanesthesia, well-developed intensive care unit, equipped with the most modern monitoring system at that time, and neurorehabilitation department. Second phase of the expansion of the neurosurgery started in 1978, when pre-existing neurosurgery wards were demolished and new buildings of the wards 15, 16, 17, 18, and 1920 and emergency operation theatre were completed, and neurosurgery moved to the new buildings in 1981. In the same period, neuroradiology and neurosurgery operation theatres' old equipment was replaced with the latest modern machines. The first most modern state-of-the-art CT scan was purchased and installed in LGH. In 1980, for the first time in the history of the Pakistan, and that was the machine only serving to the public freely for 4 years. There was no other machine in Pakistan of CT scan at that time. Old conventional angiography machine was replaced by biplane DSA latest version. Neurosurgery operation theatres were also modernized. Concept of modulus operation theatres with laminar airflow system and with HEPA filters were imported from Germany and installed in LGH for the first time in the Pakistan. For neuroanesthesia, servo ventilators were imported and installed in LOT. Ceiling mounted operating microscope and ceiling mounted diathermy machines were installed to improve quality and safety of the neurosurgery operation. As workload was increasing day by day, the second professorial unit was created by efforts of Professor Bashir Ahmed, and Professor Javed Majid Mia was posted in charge of the second unit. By the time that Professor Bashir Ahmed retired at the end of 1993, he had made this place center of excellence of neurosurgery, comparable to any good unit in the developed world, almost an institute of neurosciences, providing comprehensive care to the patient under one roof. The third phase of the development started when I got approved the project of the Punjab Institute of Neurosciences, PINS. As I retired after a few months, this project was taken by the successive principal, Professor Tariq Salahuddin Mahmood, Professor Anjam Habib Gora, and Professor Khalid Mahmood. Their day and night hard work completed the job, and PINS shifted to the purpose-built building where we are standing and sitting today. And the government has declared it as an autonomous institute recently. PINS is equipped with the most latest machines and run by the highly qualified trained professors, and is providing state-of-the-art treatment, research and training facilities for the new generation of the neurosurgeon. About 100 neurosurgeons have been produced by this department by this time, and many of those have been retired after being the head of departments in various medical colleges of the Punjab. Simultaneously, Postgraduate Medical Institute, Lahore was established in 1974 in the old building of the experimental medicine of King Edward Medical College. Lahore General Hospital was affiliated with PGMI as the teaching hospital. There is always a step-motherly treatment with the PGMI as far as the other hospitals affiliated was concerned with the PGMI. The aims and objectives of the PGMI were to provide postgraduate training both in clinical and basic health sciences. General Hospital at that time was housed in the old barracks types of buildings scattered over a large area. Once Allama Iqbal Medical College was shifted to its new campus, Services Hospital and Herbert Road campus were given to the PGMI Lahore. But unfortunately, when SIMS, Undergraduate Medical College, was opened, Services Hospital got affiliated with that college, and Herbert Road campus was co-shared by PGMI and SIMS for teaching of the basic health sciences. Very few people know that the Sheikh Zayed Hospital was, Professor Zahrullah Chaudhry is well aware, was developed as an affiliated hospital of PGMI. Whole of the PGMI staff worked day and night to commission that hospital, but when it was ready to open, the Dean of the PGMI, General Mohiuddin, changed it into a federal PGMI and became Dean of that institute, and PGMI had still no hospital, proper hospital, and PGMI working with the LGH in the old barracks. PGMI was again remained dependent on old barracks of LGH. However, PGMI had renowned and committed teachers, to name few: Professor Zahrullah Chaudhry, Professor Habib Saab, and Professor Muhammad Chaudhry in General Surgery, and Professor Mahmood Chaudhary in General Surgery, Professor Hafiz Khan and Professor Khalilur Rahman in Medicine, Professor G.A. Shah of Orthopedics, Professor Salim Akhtar Gaini and Obstetrics, Professor Khalid Rana sitting here of the Ophthalmology, and late Professor Farrah of Urology. In spite of difficulties, PGMI continued its mission of providing excellent quality training to the future medical teachers. As services and Sheikh Zayed hospitals were taken from the PGMI, then the master plan was prepared for new purpose-built buildings at LGH. New buildings were completed in phases. At present, PGMI had most beautiful building complex at LGH. Finally, Amiruddin Medical College was opened in 1912 by efforts of Professor Tariq Salahuddin. LGH now serving the needs of both PGMI and Amiruddin Medical College. One can appreciate day and night hard work done by many principals and their teams, ultimately achieving power. Today we are celebrating 60th anniversary at this occasion. I would especially like to mention the role of Professor Sajjad Hussain as savior of this LGH. During his tenure as principal, LGH was sold to a private party, but Professor Sajjad refused to sign the deal and he was removed from the principalship and transferred to another medical college as punishment. In the end, I would like to thank Professor Tayyib and his team for organizing such a wonderful program and give me the opportunity to see the old administrators, principals, MSs. I think when I joined, Dr. Anis was the medical superintendent of that time. I'm happy to see all the old friends over there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Nazir Ahmed. Because of the constraint of time, I would request all the worthy speakers who are coming on, please be short. Now I would like to call former medical superintendent of Lahore General Hospital, Dr. Anis Qureshi, who provided his excellent services to the institution. Please welcome Dr. Anis Qureshi.
When I was invited by the worthy medical superintendent to attend this function, I thought I'll be the oldest person around here. But now that I've seen my worthy teacher, Professor Khaja Sadiq Hussain Saab, I feel so young. Lahore General Hospital, which was originally, as everybody has told you, started as a beggar's home. But the beggars didn't stay here. They ran away. It was the doctors who had the guile to stay here and made this institution into something worthwhile. When I was house surgeon in 1959, and as such, I'm associated with this hospital because we used to come from Mayo Hospital every week to see our patients in Lahore General Hospital. And it was an occasion to be happy because every week the transport from Mayo Hospital, came to General Hospital, and we came here just in a picnic mood because just beyond Ichra, all you found were green fields all around. And it was a picnic rather than, and moreover, our patients we didn't like in our hospital, in Mayo Hospital. They were always bickering, they were always complaining, so they were sent here. So we had a relief that those patients were, sent here, and we just came once in a while to see them. Anyway, from that on, in 1973, I was appointed the medical superintendent here. At that time, it was a few barracks, 10 or 15 barracks, and of course, neurosurgery department was here. But the way it has progressed, it is tremendous. When I pass sometimes in front of the hospital, I'm surprised at seeing so many buildings, such big institution that it has become. Somebody here said that there was a corner where there is an emergency department now, and a single person lived there. That single person happened to be me. So I had 2 stints of being medical superintendent here, one 73 to 6 and another one from 87 to 92. But now that I see this place, this is entirely different, thanks to all those people who are working here.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, I would like to invite Professor Farooq Zaman, a renowned gynecologist, who served the institution to the fullest of his abilities. Please welcome Professor Farooq Zaman.
Professor Sufullah Chaudhary, President CPSP, dignitaries on the stage and in the audience, teachers of teachers, faculty of PGMI, Amiruddin Medical College, PIMS, and Lahore General Hospital. First of all, I'll congratulate Professor Muhammad Tayyib, Dr. Mahmood Salahuddin, and faculty and staff of LGH on 60th anniversary celebrations. As has been pointed out many times, who would have actually thought at the start and the beginning of this institution that this shelter home will one day be the premises and become a focal point for 3 institutions: Postgraduate Medical Institute, Amiruddin Medical College, and PIMS. And on the way, as has already been pointed out, if I may use an obstetrical metaphor, it delivered in a way Sheikh Zayed Hospital and Federal PGMI. My association with LGH as principal PGMI was brief for about 6 months, but was especially made unforgettable by the warmth of the faculty and the people working here. I can only recall that as that to be an enjoyable and productive period. Later I had the privilege to be on the board of management of LGH for a few years, but regrettably couldn't contribute much, as probably is the case with most boards of management. Considering the role of LGH, many a times I wonder about 2 campuses and their role in medical education and health delivery care. One is Birdwood Road campus, borrowed from IPH, which led to the development of Allama Iqbal Medical College, PGMI, and SIMS, and I believe now it is again with PGMI. The other is LGH. I would suggest that the Birdwood Road campus should be rather preserved in its present status. Seriously. Because in that condition it provides the drive to create and build and to move on.
because that is what has been happening with that. The same, of course, cannot be said of LGH. It has thrived and continues to evolve and develop as a testament to the efforts of the distinguished group of people who have served and are serving this institution. Now, after half a century, for many, it is the preferred destination and not the stepping stone it used to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Our next guest, very important. May I request the very important part of our any healthcare system, Ma'am Ishrat, the nursing head who had served in this hospital. Please welcome the admission.
यहाँ इतने सीनियर हैं कि जब मैं स्टूडेंट थी तो प्रोफेसर सर अनीस साहब उस वक्त MS साहब थे, तो मेरे लिए तो यहाँ खड़े होना बहुत मुश्किल है कि इतने सीनियर पर्सन्स जिनसे हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा देखा। ये प्रोफेसर नज़ीर साहब जब ये हाउस जब कर रहे थे उस वक्त मैं स्टूडेंट थी नर्सिंग में। उसके बाद यहाँ से मैंने ट्रेनिंग ली और प्रोफेसर नज़ीर साहब प्रिंसिपल बने। उस वक्त मैं नर्सिंग सुपरिटेंडेंट थी। मैंने यहाँ नर्सिंग सुपरिटेंडेंट पोस्ट की, यहाँ एज ए प्रिंसिपल जॉब की, लेकिन यहाँ से जो मैंने ट्रेनिंग ली वो हर जगह स्कूलों की इंस्पेक्शन करनी, एग्ज़ाम लेने, जो भी नर्सिंग कैडर में काम थे, अल्लाह ताला ने मुझे इतनी हिम्मत दी, इतनी इंकरेजमेंट मिली, इतनी अच्छी तरबियत मेरी जनरल हॉस्पिटल से हुई कि हर कदम पे अल्लाह ताला ने मुझे कामयाबियत दी। और LGH से जो भी बंदा जो भी यहाँ से ट्रेनिंग लेता है वो पूरे पंजाब में क्या पूरे पाकिस्तान में है कि जनरल हॉस्पिटल के ट्रेनिंग जो हैं वो बहुत ही ऑर्गेनाइज्ड हैं, लविंग हैं और ये किसी भी मैदान में मात नहीं खाते। और आज मुझे इतनी खुशी हो रही है कि जो कि इतने जो लेजेंड हैं, जो प्रोफेसर्स वगैरह जिनको हम कभी याद करते हैं कि जब हम मैं ट्रेनिंग में आई तो फलां MS थे, ये वो आज देखने को मिल रहे हैं। और मैं आप सबकी बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि मुझे मौका मिला और मैं यहाँ बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you, madam. Now, I would like to invite another great personality who has become the first CEO of this institute. Please welcome Madam Sabia Khurshid to share her views.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum.
First of all, I really feel honored to be invited today in this occasion. Since my tenure is almost 60 to 70% overlap with Dr. Sabia's tenure. But I think because she was really very humble, and that is why she didn't point out certain important facts and figures during her tenure. I took over as MS in 1998, and my period, I had three different tenures, starting from 1998 to 2011. The last tenure was in 2011. And overall time period was almost slightly more than 6 years. I think if somebody wants to know the history of neurosurgery department from A to Z, the most person who can tell you is Dr. Nazir Ahmed. Similarly, as far as hospital administration is concerned, I think Dr. Sabia is the most suitable person because she had the experience of working as DMS, AMS, MS, and the Chief Executive Officer. In 1998, only 6 hospitals of Punjab were given autonomy, and she had the honor of working as CEO. Then there was a lot of transition in the autonomy, and because of that, later on some of the, you can call principal executive officers and principals, they did not feel that suitable working environment in which Dr. Sabia provided, and she had. 6 hospitals were granted, and out of that, she would also agree that there was a third-party audit, and General Hospital and Holy Family Hospital, although initially LGH was considered to be the underdogs, but Holy Family Hospital and General Hospital performance was rated as the best out of those. All the PC1s of development in phase 4, development of different phases were developed during our period. Development of share system to the employees, that was also developed. The very big issue that it used to be there, but most of that has been resolved by that, was our infrastructure, the drainage system and all. And so we still remember that there was a Salus war and all that to filter on the regurgitation system. Celebration of LGH 40 years in 1998 we celebrated, although the mode was different. We organized the LGH Mela, which was here organized by us for 2 days. So I think personally, which the experience that I had working in LGH was that the strength of LGH lies with the committed and dedicated staff that it has. Its organizational culture is the best amongst all the hospitals in Lahore, I would say. Although I had working experience of working in Mayo and Gangaram Hospital. So I pray to Almighty Allah for its constant development and prosperity in achieving its vision and goals. And besides, I would also like to pray for all the departed souls of all those who have left this world and they've served in LGH in any capacity. Thank you very much. May Allah.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like another legendary personality who has served this institute, and he is one of those who developed the idea from Amiruddin Medical College and initiated the college of PJMA campus, and he stood firm against all the resistances. Please welcome Professor Tariq Salahuddin.
Professor Zafrullah Chaudhary, the President of College of Physicians of Pakistan, Principal Dr. Muhammad Tayyib, PGMI, Amiruddin Medical College, the Honorable Faculty, Senior Teachers, Nursing Staff of Lahore General Hospital, Doctors of Lahore General Hospital, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is an extreme privilege and honor to be invited at the momentous occasion of the 60th year celebrations of Lahore General Hospital. It was a challenging job during the period I was the Principal and Dean of LGH PGMI to govern this institution. The era was marked by severe turbulence and law and order situation in the country because of suicidal bombing, terrorist activities and political turmoil. I was fortunate to have the backing of an excellent team, faculty members, doctors of the Lahore General Hospital, and even the junior staffing of the institution, who helped me to build the new face of Lahore General Hospital. I must thank and salute doctors, senior faculty, the nursing staff, paramedics, and the establishment who fought a war against the lethal epidemic of dengue fever which swept the country, especially Lahore and the province, during 2011. It was an excellent exhibition of commitment, teamwork, par excellence. This hospital received 2,94,000 patients of dengue fever in 3 months with a mortality rate of only 0.49%. What you see today at Lahore General Hospital is totally different from the old barracks and the new and the narrow corridors of the ancient architecture of 1950s and 60s. New structures were erected, the hospital underwent complete renovation, and impressive buildings were built with most modern equipment. I think the hospital emerged as a multidisciplinary institution with very strong, robust neurosurgical services for the region. The creation of Punjab Institute of Neurosciences was a mammoth and challenging task which was completed with the help of committed team and governmental support. The creation of Amiruddin Medical College is another landmark of that era, which today has proven that the thought and the concept medical college at PGMI and the doctors who have their own alma mater now was the need of the hour. Lahore General Hospital has one of the best gastroenterology units, medical units, obstetric and gynecology, surgical, ophthalmology and pediatric units. Lahore General Hospital has one of the best radiology department with excellent laboratory facilities. I hope Lahore General Hospital, on the banner of PGMI, Amiruddin Medical College and its nursing institute is now ready to take a course towards a degree awarding institution. I will be failing in my duty if I do not thank the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Pakistan, University of Health Sciences, for facilitating one of the best training programs virtually in every medical and surgical field here, sir. I must thank and appreciate the services of all former principals, faculty members, doctors and the medical superintendents and their team who took part in building this great institution. My special thanks to Professor Tayyib, Principal PGMI and Amiruddin Medical College and his team for celebrating and organizing the 60th year celebration of Lahore General Hospital in the most befitting manner. I thank you all for your appreciation.
Thank you, sir.